Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday's video. Today we're still talking about love. Like my little prop. So here's what we're talking about today. We're talking about how to love our kids. So I want to spend just a second on parenting in general, and then I want to give you a few handful of ways that we can specifically love our kids in the way that they receive love, which is very important if you watched last week's video. First of all, two things that you need to know about parenting. Number one, there is not just one right way to parent. If you talk to enough people, you get the sense that there's only one right way, their way of parenting. And it's constantly important that we remember there are many, 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 many different ways to parent well and right. Okay? That's really important. It's something I've had to keep in the forefront of our mind because our parents, in-laws, friends, strangers in the park, everyone likes to tell us what we're not doing or how we could be doing it better. And we know our kids the best, and we need to remember that even with multiple kids, there is a way to parent one, and maybe we have to parent another one differently because of the way that they learn, the way that they hear, the way they remember. So we have to keep that in mind. There is more than one right way to parent. Number two, this is really, really important, and it's my favorite, is guess what? There's not a parent in the history of the world who has raised the perfect kid. I mean, get out of town. You mean everybody's been doing this and not one person has succeeded in raising the perfect kid? I know some of you think, oh, I have. We can talk about that, but nobody has done it. I don't care what they say. So we're all going to kind of mess this thing up and probably mess up our kids a little bit, some of us a lot, I don't know. But none of us are perfect. And so our kids aren't going to be perfect either. So those are two things that we have to remember when it comes to parenting. And it's really crazy for me because when you give parenting advice, you're like, please don't look at my kids because they're probably fighting in this moment. But I'm trying to tell you how to be a good mom and dad. All right? So none of us has it all together. So I very humbly give you this advice on how you can best love your kids. I'm going to give you a few ways you can do that. Number one is listen to them. In the sense, I know we're like, do you know how much my kid talks every day? I have 4 of them, so times 4. When I say that, listening for those clues in how they want to be loved. Okay, so I have one kid who is always asking to be with me. Hey, can we sit on the couch together? Hey, can we go on a date? He's the one that reminds me that we need to have our date. Hey, can we just watch a movie together? So this kid, through his clues, is a couple of things. Number one, he really, time with him, just us and him, or me and him, or his dad and him, it really fills his love bucket. That's my term. I have plenty of clients who make fun of that phrase, but the way we fill him up is to spend time with him. This kid is also one who constantly wants to touch, wants a hug, wants a kiss. I mean, all the time. And I know there's parents and grandparents who, oh, love it because he's not always going to want that. I beg to differ. I honestly think this kid's going to smother his wife all the time because he's just always been this way. I think his other love language is touch. So time and touch, because we watch and we listen and those are the clues that he gives us. My daughter, I love it. She will tell us what to say to her. We can say, hey, Stella, you are such a smart girl. And she'll say, what else? And we have to say things like, oh, well, you're important. And she'll say, what else? And we'll say, you're kind. And she'll say, what else? And you're friendly. So it's a big clue to us that she needs words of encouragement. That's a real big clue. So listen to your kids, watch your kids, observe your kids, and they will tell you what their love language is. Those are my clues for finding out what your kids, how they receive love from you the best. And we as parents get caught up in that trap of only loving them the way that we express love the easiest. So be mindful of that. This week, love your kids well. And it's not just about discipline and giving them all the things that they need. It's also really important, watch what they're watching. This is my Tuesday video drop. Hope you guys have a great week.